Hey, welcome to the live stream. This is my third live stream. I appreciate you guys joining the live stream. And this is recorded. I normally don't get very many people that join the live stream live, but I do have a lot of people that watch the live stream later, watch it back later. So these live streams give me an opportunity to get you caught up on the latest and latest news with Windows IoT, the stuff that's going on in the IoT channel. Let you know what you need to be aware of when it comes to the Windows Embedded Windows IoT channel. So let's jump into it and start with the Windows 7 announcement. Now, before I do that on this live stream, I do see there were a couple of people. I'm going to look at my comments here. Thank you for joining. If you are on here, say hello in the comments, because yes, we did have a little glitch with the live stream and I had to restart it. So I think we're doing all right now. I think people can see me. I looked over there. It appears to be live streaming. So, but definitely say hello in the comments. Let me check with my crew here too. Yeah, cool. Thank you, Maria. You see me now. We're working. And I've got Sorensen on there. Perfect. And yes, anybody else, if you join, just say hello. It's interactive. You can ask questions in there, and then I'll follow up and go through some fun content. I have some cool little quiz later to go through some of the top questions we get. See how well you know the Windows IoT business. And with that, let me jump back to talking about Windows 7. So, Windows 7 for embedded systems, also known as FES 7 Pro and Ultimate. It does go end of life after 15 long years. It goes into life the end of next month, so September 30th, 2024. You will no longer be able to buy and sell that product. Now, in the IoT channel, when something goes end of life, it's no longer manufactured, but it also means you can't ship that COA sticker past that date. So that means that if you are building appliances that are still running on Windows 7, you just cannot use the Windows 7 FES COA sticker on there. You want to deplete your inventory of those stickers before that date because you cannot ship that sticker past that date. What you can do is use downgrade rights. Once you reach that date, downgrade rights then become available. And that means you have to buy the most current high-end product, which is Windows 11 IoT Enterprise, LTSC 2024 high-end. Put that Windows 11 sticker on your device, and then you can continue to load your Windows 7 image and keep right on going. We have a lot of customers that still are shipping XP systems, but they're putting a Windows 11 sticker on there and then loading their XP image. It's going to be the same thing for the Windows 7 product family. And we do have a number of customers still buying and shipping these. So let me jump to the presentation. And let me also throw a banner up here so you know how to get a hold of us. Or that's our website. So I want to promote our website. Lots of good material on our Aero Microsoft website, including a lot of blogs that I've written. So if there's any kind of subject matters that you want to know more about, Windows Update, downgrade rights, the latest products, Windows 11 LTSC that launched, we have everything in a forum in there with blogs and other information. You have licensing guides, data sheets, everything you need to know on that website, as well as requesting to sign the customer license agreement if you want to be able to get access to these IoT products. But all right, let's jump into the presentation. And that means I have to hit this button. There we go. Perfect. Let me scoot over a little bit here too. All right. So I always like to remind people Windows IoT, because I get a lot of comments on the YouTube videos that say, you should have told me I can't buy this for home use, or I watched your whole video and you didn't even tell me at the beginning, or you should have told me at the beginning that it's just for OEMs, it's not for home use. So let's start there. Home and Pro on the far left is for your home and personal use. That's available from direct OEMs as well as retail channel and OEM system builder. All right. that again is for home use. And then you have your work corporate life, which is still general purpose computers, but you would buy Pro, Enterprise LTSC through the Open Value CSP volume, and those have different categories such as government, charity, academic, and you have your large enterprise agreements as well as Select Plus agreements. Those are all intended to be sold to end users that will be using them for general purpose use. And that channel is fairly expensive, typically upgrades only for the client products. So those are typically used by corporate America or larger companies, where the other one is for home and personal use. And then the one on the far right, which I'm blocking a little bit with my image here. Let me see if I can move this a little bit. Yeah, let me move me up here. That is your IoT Enterprise LTSC, IoT Enterprise GAC, and that's only available through the OEM IoT channel. That is for fixed purpose dedicated appliances, as we will talk about here on the next slide. So just a quick refresher, what is Microsoft IoT Channel and why use it? Again, it's dedicated fixed purpose appliance software that's available for the Windows clients as well as Windows Server and SQL database. And many different industry verticals. It gives you a much longer life cycle. You still get 10 years of support, but you get a long 10 years of life, where regular channel products, you only get a couple years of life usually before a new product comes along. And we were just talking about Windows 7, so as a great example, 15 years of life on that Windows 7 product. If we look at some of the industry verticals, scoot myself back down here, you'll have the point of sale, you have medical, factory automation, industrial controllers, retail, digital signage, cash registers, gaming, slot machines, transportation, kiosk, anything that you pretty much, when you turn it on, it's dedicated to that and it runs on that, and you want it to be super reliable, locked in. You don't need new features coming along. You just want it to be secure, reliable. That's what the Windows IoT product is for. And then where do you buy this IoT product? You get it from a distributor like Arrow, and we are the #1 Windows embedded Windows IoT distributor. Distributors like CDW, Insight, TD SYNNEX, those guys, they cannot sell this Windows IoT product. You have to come to an authorized IoT distributor like Arrow. We have the most experience in the industry. We are #1 in the Americas, and I have a YouTube channel with 7,700 subscribers out there where I constantly try to update and give you guys the latest news and info on these products. Already mentioned the website that's also on the ticker at the bottom. And if you're looking for quick, and you have questions on this, you're not going to get the answers pretty much anywhere except for us. There are other people, obviously, but we've been doing it a long time, and we're going to answer those questions really quickly. And that's whether you're having licensing, product, or technical questions, like if you need a little help assisting on how to lock it down, how to capture an image, those things, we have you back there as well. So let's jump to talk about what's coming soon. So what's coming soon with the Windows IoT channel? The IoT channel does mirror the regular Windows channel, right? So when a product is launched in the regular channel, there's typically, in most cases, going to be an IoT version. And so the products I'll mention sort of mirror the regular channel. The first one being Office LTSC 2024 Standard Edition. So this fall, Microsoft will be launching Office 2024. There will be an Office Home and Business, a Home and Student, and there'll be various other flavors in the volume channels and all the different channels for Office 2024. In our channel, we have a product called Office LTSC, and there will be a 2024 edition, and it is coming this fall. Next up is Windows Server IoT 2025. That could be this fall, it could be into next year, but that one is coming fairly quickly too, so be on the lookout for that. And then right behind it will be SQL 2025. I think it'll launch later than Server 2025, and probably later into 2025 is my guess. I don't have dates on any of these yet, but they definitely are coming. They're on our roadmap. they're what we're preparing to start doing videos on and getting all of our stuff together. And then next fall, a year from now, is it going to be Windows 12, or is it going to be Windows AI, or is it going to be Windows something else? They're going to name it something else. Who knows? Obviously, if you search on the internet for Windows 12, there's a lot of stuff out there. But Microsoft has been very quiet about Windows 12. And it definitely is obviously not coming this fall. But we'll definitely see something next fall for sure. And of course, there will be an IoT version of that. However, the LTSC version is typically on a 3-year cycle. So we typically won't see an LTSC version because Windows 11 LTSC just launched in 2024. We won't see another LTSC version until 2027. Let me check the comments before I keep running here. So you're using 8.1 industry. Yeah, okay. Perfect. Yeah, Windows 8.1 is still available. I think that's good till 20. We're coming up on that one though. 2026, 2028. I do have a comparison of Windows 8.1 with the other products here in just a second that we'll show. But let's talk about how many ways are there to buy Windows 11. So this is a big question we get. A lot of times the question we get is, and while I'm saying this, make a comment on how many ways you think there are to buy Windows 11. Obviously, I'm giving a hint there with those two Home and Pro pictures, but give me a number. How many different part numbers are there to buy Windows 11? And that includes Home, Pro, Enterprise, and IoT Enterprise, on and on. So throw a number in the comment section, and we'll see how close you get. But the question we get all the time is, hey, I need a license for Windows 11. Well, Windows 11 what? Which version do you want? Because most people don't know that there's this many ways to buy it. And then even if they want IoT Windows 11, they'll just say, give me Windows 11 IoT, and then we have to say, well, wait, there's a lot of options there. So, all right, I am going to hit the button and throw the answer in here. 22. So there's 22 different ways to buy Windows 11. Let's look at those. And you were probably trying to figure out what with that blue box in the middle. Yeah, the blue box is going to hide the pricing for the IoT product. So technically we're not allowed to publish the IoT pricing out there. So a lot of my videos, we won't have the pricing in my YouTube videos. But if you want a quote, then all you got to do is email us, which is perfect for me to change the banner here to the contact us one. There we go. So if you want a quote on Windows 11 IoT, that's the email address. Shoot an email to windowsiot@arrow.com. Super easy to remember that, right? Anything on Windows IoT, windowsiot@arrow.com. We can get you the answers on, as well as a quote on those different IoT products there. But starting at the top, you'll have your different home versions available in a digital download, a DVD or a USB, and you have your Pro, and you can see those products are fairly expensive. The IoT products are less expensive than that, depending on the processor you're using. And then you have your IoT products, many different ways. The reason there's so many different ways, a high-end value entry base, is because it's based on the processor. So if you have a lower level entry processor, you would use the entry license. The base is for ARM processors, specifically NXP processors. And then there's a virtualization SKU, and then you have the non-LTSC, or what we call the GAC parts, and they're going to be very similar pricing. And then at the bottom you have your open volume SKUs for Enterprise, E3, E5, and a VDA, which is a virtual desktop access license. So, and those are upgrades only, as you can see by the license column. Not only that, they're expensive upgrades, so you have to have Pro on them to even get those. And again, those are not for appliances, those are for corporate business general use. All right, let's jump ahead. Get my comments back up. Let's talk about how many ways are there to buy Windows 10. And again, throw your guesses down in the comments, and I will go ahead and hit the button, because you may be surprised that there are only 2 ways to buy Windows 10. And you say, well, why is that? And that's because Windows 10 Home and Pro And the enterprise version and the volume channel went end of life 2 years ago, back in 2022. October 2022 is when the Home and Pro and the enterprise product went end of life. So if you're trying to buy Windows 10 today, the only way to do that, I'm going to throw another slide there. The only way to do that is to buy the IoT version or the volume IoT LTSC version. Those are the only way to get Windows 10 today, legally. So we'll talk about not legally here in just a second. But so again, I've covered up the pricing. If you want a price on that, shoot us the email, Windows IoT at Arrow. And then the volume versions, which you don't want to use anyway, they're $295 upgrades, super expensive. So you wouldn't use those for an appliance anyway. And even for home use, that would be ridiculous. It's typically corporate America that would be buying those. Now, what happens if I go on the internet and I search for Windows 10? I want to buy a license for Windows 10. Now keep in mind, this product went end of life 2 years ago. It's long gone. And even the inventory, distributors, people who are legitimate resellers and distributors have depleted all their inventory. It's long gone. But if you go search for it, you're going to find stuff like this. The top row is your sponsored things on the search, which means they paid to put their company and name up there. And the pricing is up there, but I was still questioning whether this is legitimate. Now, the odds are that maybe they found an old stash of these in retail versions that nobody were buying, and they had those still on the shelf, and they're really trying to clear that out, and that's why they're selling for $100 or $160. But probably not really legit. And then if you go to the ones below that, we know these are absolutely not legit, because they're just selling you a key with instant delivery, and the key is not a license. So for $1, you could get yourself a Windows Pro genuine license key. There is no such thing as a license key. A key just makes the product work. It's not a license. And so somebody just found a key, and they're just selling the key that they got somewhere for 99 cents. So why doesn't Microsoft stop this? So Microsoft actually they do have a team that tries to go out and stop these, but they literally just can't shut them down. They just, as soon as they got rid of 100 of them, 100 more would pop up. So it's a really tough market, and it's really just awareness, being aware that all this stuff is not legit. And of course, if you're a home user and you just wanted to get rid of the watermark on your system, because you can run the Windows Pro without a key, you're going to get a watermark, right? Some people do that, right? But so you're like, for $1, I want to get rid of the watermark. Odds are high that person at home is not going to get audited. So people do go out and buy these for $1, $3, $4. But they're not licenses, and they're not legit. All right, I was just checking the comments. Cool. And you mentioned 8.1, so let's talk about. Let's compare. And I actually had thrown 8.1 Pro for embedded systems, which is very similar to the industry 8.1 Pro that you're talking about. So. But I don't know if it's the same footprint. But what I was doing is I went and I installed all of these, not in a virtual machine, but actually on a real physical machine. And I got the name that it shows, which was another point of confusion for the IoT channel for a number of years, because when you installed it, it didn't actually say it was what it was, right? And so, but here you go. That's the name it shows. That's the build version and the actual OS build version, as well as how much disk space it took up, and as well as how much time it took me to install it from scratch. So this is just a wizard-driven install, like a normal person would do, not like a technician would do when he's building the scripts and doing sysprep and things like that. This is just booting on a USB and going through the install. Those earlier products were done in 8 minutes, 10 minutes. Now this latest 11 LTSC takes 19 minutes. It takes quite a bit longer because it's downloading some updates. And we've had discussions with Microsoft about that, as to, why they're doing that. Why is it different than the previous? Why is it taking so much longer? But it does, and it does take up a little more disk space by default. Now, once it's installed, there's a lot of things you can do to go in there and decrease that disk space and that footprint back down. And also, the default install, these sizes will be different depending on your machine, how much RAM, how much storage, because the installation does look at that and it does create swap files and different things like that. So just gives you a ballpark idea. All right, let's go to the next one. The quiz. Let's talk about some quizzes, throw some quizzes out there, and see how good you guys are at some of these questions we get. So our team gets these questions quite often, and so we'll start with the first one. These are all true, false. For Microsoft license to be legal, the operating system must be activated. So that's a big one, man. People think that, hey, if it's not activated, then it's not legal, right? Right? False. In fact, the IoT LTSC versions can run in deferred mode. As long as you have the real key, you can build an offline device that never touches the internet and never activates, and stays in unactivated mode, but runs in full featured mode so that you can still change the wallpaper, still change the screensaver, and there's no watermarks. And so that's to highlight the fact that the IoT version does have the ability to run completely offline, never touch the internet, and still a fully licensed, legally licensed system, because it's got a COA sticker, because the sticker is the license. Slap the sticker on the device, that device is fully legal to run that version operating system, no matter if it's activated or not. Let's jump to the next question. Windows IoT products are stripped down versions with many features removed. So this kind of comes from the past. So the older embedded products were really stripped down. And you had a toolkit where you could strip it down to however level you wanted to. You could do a default install, but you could also use the toolkit to strip many features out in order to get it to fit on like a 4 gig storage drive, right? The newer ones are not stripped down. You could still go in and tweak them and remove things, but they're full enterprise versions of Windows. So nothing's stripped out of them. So it's false. Next question. The COA sticker is the actual license. Yeah, I've covered that many times, so you guys should already know that, but true, absolutely. It's the stickers that's the license, not the product key, and not the activation. OEM IoT licenses can be bought from most resellers such as CW and Insight. I covered that as well, so you should know that that one is false. You have to go to an authorized IoT distributor like Arrow Electronics. OEM IoT server products are the same full edition products as the regular channel. Absolutely. So very similar to the client, the Windows server products are actually bit for bit the same. There's nothing different about the server products in the IoT channel. So that's true. Let's keep it rolling. Once an IoT product goes end of life, Microsoft shuts down the activation. That's a really big one I get a lot too. I don't know why people would think that. I get customers that come to me and they're like, oh my gosh, it's going end of life. What am I going to do with those 10,000 systems that are already in the field? No, end of life just means that the product is not manufactured and you can't sell a device with that sticker on it anymore. Everything that's been sold and shipped is going to work forever. They don't shut that off. And if you happen to have to reload a system, as an example, I had somebody that was reloading an XP system, and they were having some trouble with the activation, and they thought, oh no, Microsoft turned off activation for XP. No, man, Microsoft would take some grief over that. No, a product is good forever, and the activation will work forever. You can use an ePKEA 50,000 key on systems that have a PKEA COA license on them. This has been a really popular question lately because people are getting to where they want that key on the COA. So in the IoT channel, we sell you two ways. We sell you a tiny sticker with no key on it, and you just bury the key in the image, 98% of our OEMs use that method because it makes life super simple. The difference is the tiny Koa sticker does not have a key on it. And so, man, some people just want that key. And if you want that key on the sticker, we do sell it. It's called a PKEA license options, and it's a much bigger sticker with a unique key on every sticker. So then the question is, well, can I use my 50,000 key if I'm using that sticker, or do I have to use that key on the sticker? And the answer is true. You can use that 50,000 key on a system even though you're putting a Koa sticker that has a key on it. In other words, the key on the sticker does not have to be the key you use within the image, because it's the sticker that's the license, not the key. The key just enables it. Next up, Windows 10 Home and Pro went end of life almost 2 years ago and is no longer available. So I covered that pretty quick for you guys, so you should get that one. That's true. That product, Home and Pro from Windows 10, is long gone. It's not available anymore. A Windows product key can be telephone activated up to 1,000 times. So this is one of those kind of industry secrets, in that Microsoft, if you ask Microsoft this question, they will absolutely not give you this answer. But I can tell you that if you have a key and you're performing telephone activation, it will telephone activate up to 1,000 times. And that's an OEM product key, I should be clear with that. OEM product keys will activate via the telephone up to 1,000 times. Which also allows, those people who are buying those keys that are probably used and already been activated for $1, well, they're going to have to telephone activate it. Microsoft requires devices to have Windows Update enabled. That is false. You do not have to enable Windows Update. And many of our OEMs actually disable Windows Update, but the advantage of the LTSC version is it would only ever pull down security patches, so it's obviously best to leave it enabled and use the LTSC version. One more set of these, I'm going to keep on going. The OEM is required to apply the Koa sticker license to the device before shipment. It's another one we get a lot too, is I don't want to put the sticker on, I'm going to let my customer do it. Or I'm going to ship the system and I'm going to ship the sticker later because we don't have inventory yet. No, don't do that. You can't ship a system with a full Microsoft operating system on it without a license, and the sticker is the license. You get yourself into some big trouble with that. You are required to put that sticker on the machine before you sell and ship it, and you have to apply it to the system. If you lose the Koa sticker license, Microsoft can easily print you a replacement. That's another one that kind of drives us crazy here at Arrow, because that is false. These Koa stickers are like money, and they're printed like money, and they're treated like money. And if you lost a $100 bill, yeah, the government's not going to print you another one. You'd have to go get yourself another $100 bill. And it's the same way with these Koa stickers. If you lose them, you gotta replace them. And you gotta buy replacements. We can't just go have Microsoft print you some replacements. So you gotta be very careful with them. They come in envelopes. Don't lose that envelope. We had a customer that bought $100,000 worth of these stickers, and the envelope got lost. $100,000. Yeah, you don't want to be that guy that loses an envelope that was worth $100,000. I mean, it's hard to imagine that there was an envelope that was worth $100,000 and they lost it. I think in that case, they actually a couple weeks later they actually located it, so it was good. I think it all worked out on that one, but don't lose the stickers. If I accidentally apply the sticker to a system that ends up being dead on arrival, or it's dead, I can easily peel the sticker off and move it to another system. So if anybody's been applied these stickers, you'd know that's false, because once it sticks to it, you try to tear it off, it's going to rip and tear, and it's designed to come apart and not be easy to peel off. So don't put the sticker on the machine until the very end, when you know everything is fully working. Microsoft has never printed a bad product key in the history of Windows. So this is a good one too, because people will come to us and they'll say, the key is bad. I've tried this key over and over and it will not work. It's telling me it's bad. I've called Microsoft and they just tell me to call my distributor, but this key is bad. I need your help. I've been doing this for 37 years, and there has never been a bad key, ever. It's never been a bad key, ever. It's always they either use the wrong media or they misread the letter B for a number 8, or there was one time that a system had a bad hard drive and it had corrupted the actual part of the OS that accepts keys, and once they replaced the drive and reloaded it, the key worked fine. Or when I tested the key on my end, it worked fine, but it wouldn't work on their system, and it was because it was corrupted OS. There's never been a bad key. So if it's not working, let us know and we'll be able to test it for you and help you out. So I'm gonna, based on time, I'm not gonna go through these. These were some memes around Windows Update. I'm gonna skip those, and I'm going to, let me see. I'm going to, well, we'll jump. We'll keep going. We'll keep going. So these are fun little memes that have to do with Windows Update and have to do with Windows Pro. And we all dealt with the Windows updates. Brace yourself, they're coming soon. And then the good Ryan Gosling one, hey girl, I heard you like Windows Update. I love to share these, they're fun. I'll find you, I will update your PC. My boss wants me to work. We've all been in that situation. You're working, your system all of a sudden wants to do an update. Even happens to me here at my work system, right? OCC Orange Chopper one, I'm going to skip that one. One does not simply stop a Windows 10 update. And then lastly, what if I told you you could control Windows updates? And yeah, absolutely. So it's right channeling. So if you're using Pro, you're going to have a hard time controlling those Windows updates. And they're going to bring down new features and new build versions. But with Windows IoT Enterprise, you can control those and keep things, from happening like this. Now, some of these errors in these pictures, not necessarily the operating system, but it also has to do with how you configure these systems so that you don't see these errors. So if there was a hardware failure, if the drive failed and it couldn't boot to the OS, there's ways you configure these so that you don't see this. And that's what's important. Here at Arrow, we have ways to help you so that this doesn't happen to your appliances. And if you're using the IoT version, it absolutely typically won't happen. So don't buy Pro, be buying IoT. The LTSC, longer life cycle, better pricing, single key, way easier to deal with than Pro, which your only choice now is 11 Pro and downgrading to 10, right? And if you're buying 11 Pro, this is the kind of support you get, 2 years versus 10 years. And you would be on build 24H2, which for the rest of the world, build 24H2 hasn't even come out yet. We got access to build 24H2 before everyone else. And so this product is available now. I'm gonna show this up here. Windows 11 IoT Enterprise LTSC is available now. You can buy it from us now, and it gets you 10 years of support. And these are all the other LTSC versions. You can see we're coming to the end of the 2015 and 2016. 2019 is the most popular product by double anything else. We have more people on LTSC 2019 than any other version. And one of those reasons is the last 32-bit version of Windows that you can buy. So if you need a 32-bit operating system, Windows IoT Enterprise LTSC 2019 is the last 32-bit version. And it'll get you up till the end of 2028 and support till the first month of 2029. I'm not going to go through that or that or that. or that. We're gonna call the live stream good. I'm gonna look back at my comments just to see if there are any other questions that came in there. Thanks for the thing on the memes. Yeah. And it's funny about those memes is I try to capture those when I'm in the wild, and I would say, hey, you guys see anything like that in the wild? Take a picture of it. I love those. Send them to me. I collect them. I collect those because I can use those for presentations and for YouTube videos. So with that, I thank you guys for watching the live stream, and we'll do another live stream again probably at the end of next month, end of September. So thanks for watching.